Going for it.
Oh, pass interference.
Oh, there's a flag. The Hankies.
All right, we're
Because
live,
he did
fellas.
turn around to look for it.
Watching the Notre Dame Georgia game. Hope y'all had a happy New Year.
Indeed, yes. Everyone's safe. Everyone's sound.
Write it, Joel. Write it.
Welcome to the Cowboys UNcovered. I'm Dynasty F Key. We got Joe Garcia 73 and Big D in the building. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Guys, happy New Year. Happy New Year, guys.
Yeah. We got some college football playoffs going on. You can see Big D repping. Got the burn orange back there. I got mine behind me. One of those guys from that game in the Peach Bowl yesterday, we're going to do a little sneak peek of a little Cam Skattebo action.
A little peach peek.
But actually, did I say one? I meant two, because Kelvin Banks Jr., he was in there too, man.
That's true.
He certainly was.
We're Cowboys fans, we're looking to the future. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Okay. We're mock drafting, but it is 2025, so
it's draft season.
Now it's not too early. Now it's officially mock draft season.
Yeah. I guess we do have to recap.
Would that be because we got absolutely smoked last week?
Yeah. We have to mention that, I guess, just a footnote, right? At the very least.
Yeah, sometimes you get
Cowboys lose. Cowboys lose 41-7. Not what we wanted to see. Not how we wanted to, play our rival there, and especially with their backup quarterback, made Cooper Rush look like a lesser number 2, in my opinion. But that said, first game, that he's had to play without the services of CeeDee Lamb. So I think we saw a huge difference there, and there's zero offense. There's no, there's nobody out there to be a decoy or draw the defense towards them. So there was nothing to throw at, I think we got the one touchdown, but geez. And then we gave up the touchdown at the beginning, just not a good game at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Cooper Rush finally, without CeeDee Lamb there, turned it back into a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was hard to watch because I really did think that he was going to have the better game versus Pickett. But Pickett went out there composed. I mean, maybe it's because his team's not out of it totally, and they have a more competitive roster, but it wasn't even close.
Yeah, you see the receivers that he had. Whew.
Yeah, Devonta Smith, 2 touchdowns, 120 yards on 6 catches. Wow.
Yeah.
They have a couple.
Then their third stringer got a touchdown on us. So McKee, couple TDs.
Yeah, first of his career. So not too great. But look, we didn't have most of our guys. We know what time it is. So
what's the score predictions for that? Just wondering.
Embarrassing. I predicted a win.
Yeah.
I just thought Kenny Pickett was going to do what Cooper Rush did. It was such
I predicted a win, it looks like, too. Yep. And you were the closest to the hole there, Key. Like, what are you saying?
Loss, but
24-13, yeah.
Yeah, and so we didn't even get there. I don't even feel good about my prediction this week. I lowered the number a little bit, but maybe not far enough. Because this next team, they can score too, but do we maybe want to hit news before we get into the Commanders preview? From this game, you can see one of the guys, Zeke Elliott, did not get a lot of burn here. 3 attempts, 2 yards, and we officially got news that he's gone, man. But they're spinning it as a positive. McCarthy explains the decision timing on the release, saying he's earned it. And, Zeke can now go sign with another team. He's already cleared waivers. So if a team needs a back, then they can get Zeke, and maybe he can chase that ring that he's been looking after, because maybe he's got 1 or 2 years left, but not as a starter or anything, just to kind of help for some depth in moments here and there, maybe be a goal line back for a team.
Yeah, you would think maybe if he had displayed, more leadership that he might draw a little more attention. I think he's going to be hard pressed to get a contract anywhere, even for just 1 or 2 weeks. Um, but I mean, all good things come to an end.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the good things and
Well,
give our shot of the week to Ezekiel
yeah.
Elliott for his services with the Dallas Cowboys, drafted in 2016 with Dak Prescott. We saw a ton of fun stuff that year and a few years after that. Pro bowler for the Cowboys, lots of great memories. So, Ezekiel Elliott, thank you for your service.
Sir,
Shot of the week.
Zeke, shot of the week. Let's go. Yeah, it's not just about this year. We knew what time it was when we signed Zeke. There were no expectations when we got him. No one was leaning on him, and I'm glad that Rico worked out. So all fair game there. Let that man go get his money somewhere else.
Yeah, and you think that what was the messaging like bringing him in? I don't know. It's a shame. I don't think it was there was a disconnect there between the coaching staff and the front office. Bringing in, I remember it was like the first move we made was signing Zeke to this deal. And then all these other better, more capable guys who had better seasons slowly got picked off the free agent market afterwards. And the Cowboys didn't draft a running back, maybe because of that. I don't know. I guess they got Deuce Vaughn, but or was that 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
That was 2 years, but
yeah,
he didn't see the field much.
No.
Yeah,
they
did not mess
might
around
see him this week. We can talk about who we predict might get some little more playing time this week.
Yeah.
Not
well,
Zeke.
That's that was the last time we're going to see Ezekiel Elliott in the Cowboys uniform, 21 and 15. I like the 21 version better, number 21 that is. So, just got to give props to what he did.
What's a quick best memory of Zeke? Because I think one sticks out far and away. And it's
I
the
like
kettle,
the
jumping
Christmas
in the kettle,
kettlebell.
Right? Yeah.
He
admit to the celebration. It's going to be probably ripped off by somebody at some point. I think I did.
Well,
say
Chase Brown tried to.
It has.
Chase Brown tried to, and he called a penalty, and he didn't, and he still got the touchdown, so he didn't get to fully enjoy it. So that's what he gets.
Yeah. So that
was
cool, and that was in the middle of a great run too. So we'll remember that one forever.
The Pittsburgh game-winning touchdown.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was that's literally his longest play of his career. I've looked at it years after that, and it's still his longest play of his career.
Yeah, that screen pass.
Yeah.
Well, the screen pass, and then there's the winning, what ended up being the game winner with less than a minute left or whatever. So that, and I think hurdling the Bears. I was at that game.
I remember I was watching that out of town. I was given one tall boy of Miller Lite or something, and I was given my brother-in-law's couch for the evening, and that was a pretty slick little move. I remember watching that out of town.
Yep. Yeah.
So
let's move on. Thank you, Zeke.
Yeah. Guys, should we do this Commanders breakdown or talk about some of the awards? Do we want to save some exciting stuff for after this breakdown of the Commanders game?
I don't think the Commanders game will take too much, so we'll just do that and then wrap it up with some positivity.
Sweet. That's what I want to do. So Commanders, look in that division, in our division, Commanders, Eagles are right there at the top. Commanders, they don't have enough games to take over the Eagles spot. So Eagles, they already said they're resting all their guys. I do love how this week in the NFL, every single game is a division game, which I think is beautiful and great job by the scheduling team. I'll pull it up here in a second. But anyway, every game is on the line for varying degrees. In our case, not so much, but all of these are division matchups this week, which is awesome. Like these two Saturday games, all four of these teams are on Hard Knocks right now. Kind of a cool Hard Knocks episode to watch this week on Wednesday.
It's crazy that the Bengals can just sneak in. I think they need Miami to win or tie, and then they also need
Broncos to lose.
Correct. I think the game of the week has to go with the NFC North showdown, the Vikings and Lions. That is the championship game. We don't get this all the time, and that's going to be really exciting.
Yeah.
14-2.
That's pretty crazy. I don't think there's ever been there's never been a matchup in the regular season of two 14-win teams. In the regular season, it would have to have happened in the last week or two. It's so rare. They're in the same divisions. Very cool. I don't know. I don't have any rooting interest really. I don't really like
a
how the
lot of these
Lions
games
have treated us lately.
yeah. Oh, in that game particularly, and Lions have been pretty banged up on defense. It looks like the Vikings. I'm picking the Vikings to win, but like
now that fantasy season's over, let's just see a badass game.
yeah, exactly. Like Justin Jefferson's a badass. Amon-Ra's a badass. So many awesome players. I think I'm going for Lions though, to be honest. All right, so we'll get back into our matchup. Commanders. That's a squad where they do just you got a Ricky, right? You want this guy to keep developing, so I don't think he can just take time off. And in the chat, what's good, Fizzle Dollars?
What's up, Fizzle?
Friend of the show.
Man.
Yeah, man. He's close in that DMV area, but Cowboys fan, and I mean, look. 13-3 for the Eagles, 11-5 for the Washington team. I mean, they're not going to really try that hard, but I bet you still see them try to play. I think Cowboys, no matter who we roll out there, spoiler, I'm going with Commanders to win this game.
Yeah. I mean, we should see a full flight of backup linemen, offensive linemen. We'll probably see Flournoy get a bunch of targets if there are targets to give. Deuce Vaughn may play. Maybe they see if Hunter Lupke can have a whole series at tailback. There's a bunch of things to look forward to, but a lot of our best players are injured anyway, so they're not playing. So we got backups going out for even lesser backups. So we'll see how this goes. The corners have a lot to gain, and those offensive linemen have a lot to gain. So I'll be looking to those two groups to see if someone kind of separates themselves.
Yeah, it's still evaluating time. Like, we're about to do a mock draft, but I want to make sure there's no stone unturned, right, on some of these guys. And we were hyping up on the last episode how there's been a lot of guys who stepped up in the injury absence or whatever the absence might be for some of these guys. Like, I love to see that. So someone's going to be out here trying to audition for another squad next season.
Hey, in addition, there are a lot. I mean, from the Cowboys' perspective, yeah, we want to see all these young guys out there. I don't think there's anyone playing for incentives, but there are some incentives for this final game for the Washington side. I sent you something earlier, Alex, but I think Zach Ertz has some major incentives coming into the game. Yep.
So he's at the bottom here. He's got 3. If he gets 9,
Dorrance Armstrong, old Cowboy, and Fowler for that that matter.
Wow.
Trying to get half a $250,000. That's nothing to sneeze at. And Ertz is trying to rack
that's
up.
nice. Yeah,
almost
that's a lot of
almost
cash
$1 million.
money. So is that what they have left to get? Is that what this chart is? Okay, cool.
Yes.
Well, I'll root for Linval Joseph to get a sack there to get $100K. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the only guy on the list. So yeah.
Oh, Pollard's got 2.
Go get you one.
Hey man, if Pollard had that type of game in his last playoff game, I might have been around. So.
Yeah,
that's all right.
Hopefully y'all did all right in your fantasy.
Let's look at this. What is the most likely and what's the least likely? I'm gonna go Hopkins getting Hopkins is the least likely. 8 receptions.
Man, it's been, and now they got Hollywood back, and they barely
140 yards. Not gonna happen.
Geno Smith 185 passing yards, but did y'all see that game last week? It was the lowest scoring game of the season.
It was so bad. It was raining really bad the first half.
That's $2 million
from Seattle. Yeah.
Damn! Look at that. You got Kyler Murray at the top there, 750 for 50 rushing yards. Is he gonna just tuck it every time he's at the goal line? Just try to run up in there.
He can hit that easy, and I think Mike Evans. It would be dumb if they played him. Well, they may be fighting though for the division. I could just double check.
I think they have to play
8-8 for the Falcons, and then 9-7 for the Bucks. So like the Bucks would have to lose, and then Falcons have to win, but maybe they have tiebreaker. Who cares?
I'm gonna say that Mike passes out. I think he was gonna get 5 and 100.
Oh man,
at least.
Christian Fulton needs an interception. That's a tough one to write in.
Yeah, for sure.
He's gonna be jumping every double move. He's gonna be biting everywhere. I'm sure. That's interesting. I didn't know you had that queued up. That's a cool list.
Yeah, good stuff, Joe. Appreciate it.
Hey,
So
shout out to our boy Ethan on the Cowboys thread for
he said that.
shooting that in there. Yeah.
Oh, that's
So,
right.
Hey,
Yeah, shout out Ethan. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I'll try to send this to the group here in a sec. I just thought about that. But with that, let's do the score prediction right now. But I'll start with mine by kind of previewing the game in a way where, look, we're playing against what I think is the rookie of the year. Now there's another guy like who's has no chance of rookie of the year, Brock Bowers, because he's broken every record for a person who receives the ball, not just a tight end.
That's pretty awesome.
But like, man, Jaden Daniels, broke RG3's rushing record. He's completely flipped this laughable Washington team. Well, who knows what their name is going to be next year? But like, you know what I mean? Like, this team was just the definition of dysfunction, and somehow this guy comes in as like a savvy rookie, and not only can run all over your face, but he can actually throw the ball too with precision. Really good accuracy out of college. He had good weapons in our other division rival, Malik Neighbors, and also another, actually the leading rookie wide receiver in yardage for Brian Thomas Jr. So he had some help, but maybe he helped them get there. And you're seeing him pull a team with only Terry McLaurin on it, like, period. It's just Terry McLaurin and Jaden Daniels. And he's out here cooking. He made his Olame Diaz Zacchaeus look like a star last game.
Oh yeah, he's a down bench guy for me. I remember.
Yeah, imagine next year they get some weapons, man. So
he's doing good. I'm obviously impressed. I think he might have had a couple of clunkers in there, where he might have got stumped by something he hadn't seen before. But man, if he keeps developing, it's gonna be tough to compete against him. He's a good player.
Yeah, man. I will say that beyond the physical attributes and his football abilities, just his acumen is off the charts for anybody, but a rookie especially. I mean, I would go as far as to say that he's already more advanced than Dak was in his third year in terms of being able to open up the playbook and do everything and read defenses and all that.
What we're seeing now, and this ties into something else I kind of wanted to just touch on real quick, was that the quarterbacks coming out for the past decade have been significantly more ready to play. Now, maybe they didn't all stick, but more ready to play than the prior decade. And I kind of feel like that happens every decade. So did the Cowboys screw up big time by paying Dak Prescott? Is it they don't have the stomach to let this guy go? I mean, they let Ware go at a certain point, but that was a little bit more of a favor to the player. He wanted to go compete somewhere. We were obviously headed downhill at that time. But this is a different kind of team. We're putting Dak front and center again for another 4 years. Did we make a big time mistake doing that? We could have maybe got one of these other quarterbacks.
Well, time will tell. Dak got hurt this year. We weren't doing well, even before he got hurt. It was a lame, we can go all through the recap. We're going to do the full season recap, but I don't think that. I think it's just let's see what happens next year, and then we can say, yeah.
It's a good question because we waited until the week before the game started to sign him. So it's like, unless they were playing the drama game, well, it's not unless they were playing the drama media game, but at the same time, at some point during that whole time, you have to consider another quarterback if that's how you're playing it, just in case Dak wants to go a different direction. But man, like, we weren't going to be high enough in the draft to get these guys. There were 6 quarterbacks taken. Really, it's only been JJ McCarthy who hasn't hit because he hasn't played and he got injured. But like, we weren't getting a top pick. So it's like you're saying get rid of Dak and then maybe we get one this year or the next year. And it's just like that game is so hard to actually hit on the quarterback. I'm fine he's signing a free agent, but we just haven't seen the Cowboys do that either. So it's like I'm kind of rolling with Dak. Because the numbers of 12-5 back-to-back seasons and all the CeeDee Lamb prolific numbers, they are there. We just have to find a way to be able to pay all of these guys and still have a good roster. Because really, that's what you're gaining from a rookie is that cheap contract.
And Dave, if we go to last year, like he was back up to MVP voting, so we kind of it's hard to let that go, right?
It is hard to let that go, and I understand why they signed him. There's certainly a bigger case probably to sign him than move on, especially considering you probably wouldn't have been positioned for the draft pick. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to tell, but going up against Daniels this coming week, seeing what a guy could do coming out of college, and then having played a couple of the guys this year, it's certainly an interesting thought.
It is. It's
I doubt they
interesting
go
for
QB
sure.
in the draft, obviously. So
Yeah. Well,
positive about it.
Yeah, and other than that, it's really just the JJ McCarthy, or sorry, the Mike McCarthy rumors of whether or not like he's gonna get re-signed and all of that. I'm not too worried about it for this week. We're gonna find out. Cowboys don't want to play out any type of contract for the drama anyway. So
and Jerry is being very, very hush hush and not non-committal and very just general.
Yeah, it feels similar to the Jason Garrett era ending, where like there's not obviously there hasn't been contract extension talks, right? So I think that's the biggest thing.
Right.
And then it got Sean talking about how we could just grab a rookie running back. It's pretty good. Genty out there in the draft.
Yeah. Thanks, Sean.
You don't want that to stay
last week,
McCarthy's
buddy.
job, do you?
Yeah, we broke Genty down last week, Sean. So go check that episode out. And I'll give my prediction. I've got the Washington team winning 30-13. No, that W was not for W's, and we're gonna win, Dave.
Oh, that was for Washington. That's what I thought you meant. Okay, fair enough. I'm sorry I'm so close to your number then.
Nice call out, dude.
But 20, I put L as in Cowboys loss. 28-13. I think they're going to get a pair of field goals. That feels pretty safe, and some touchdown. Who knows how or why or when, or who even is going to be playing. But yeah, they're going to take a thumping. Washington is trying to make sure that if they can improve their seed, they can do it by winning. And I think there's one other thing that has to happen for them to do that. But in any case, Cowboys lose.
Yeah, I'm going to go Commies win 31-16. Cowboys get 1 touchdown and 3 field goals.
All right, that'll do it. And just so you guys can see, that's is projected as a 6-point spread and 44-point over/under. We'll see how this game turns out. We'll be tapped in just like all these. Line has not moved at all, so no changes there. So let's get into some more positive news.
Some draft picks.
Well,
let's talk about Pro Bowl.
Oh, Pro Bowl.
Yeah, we did have some good players on the team.
I'm chopping
conversation. Yeah, they're the best players.
Pro Bowl is an awesome time, man. Like for us, it's more of the same. But like I saw, like Zay Flowers get his first Pro Bowl nomination earlier today, and like you see the emotion on some of these guys' face, so it does mean something to them. And CeeDee Lamb leading the pack. To see Tyler Smith get there, Turpin and Aubrey with another return to the Pro Bowl
unit, dude.
Micah Parsons, of course, we want to see him there every single season.
Tyler Smith, I think this is his first Pro Bowl, right?
I'm not sure.
So, but that 73 in the Pro Bowl looks familiar.
Hey, it's good to see this 73. Yeah. You guys always see me play Larry Allen back here. By the way, in memorandum, RIP from last year, Larry Allen passed away. So. Just want to give a little shout there.
Second Pro Bowl season. Second Pro Bowl for Tyler Smith.
There we go.
Awesome.
Yeah. And, so shout out to these guys.
Can't wait to see Brandon Aubrey doing some tug of war. How about that? Maybe a little dodgeball. You know how they're not going to play a game this year? It's just a bunch of all-star mini games like that, track and field stuff. Shit. I don't know what.
Wait, Joe,
I don't know what it's going to look like, but it could be fun.
Are you getting a peek into the Pro Bowlers locker room over there, seeing some tug of war action?
Oh God,
that's right. I saw the tug of war roster. So
there you go.
We got Brandon Aubrey anchoring. No.
Yeah. So congrats to these guys. Well earned, and hopefully I think we can keep all these guys. We've talked about that one episode who we're trying to keep, and I think all of them made the list.
I think Turpin's the only one without a contract, and they need to figure that one out.
We just flash him some money. He ain't seen money like he's about to get. He'll be fine.
Exactly.
Take care of the man.
Especially since he really doesn't have a lot of numbers on the receiving side. Like, yeah, they're getting there, but it's just special teams numbers. So
yeah, well, he was out rushing Zeke the last couple of games.
Yeah. So all right, that'll be fun. That's awesome. And now we want to get into a little bit of scouting, okay? And I think you gotta start with the big fella, Kelvin Banks Jr. And partly because you gotta say the best for last. People will leave if I go with Tet first. Kelvin Banks Jr., man, out of Texas, we
Look him.
just saw him yesterday in the the Peach Bowl against Arizona State. And you know, he's going to keep holding his own. This guy, if you see at the bottom here, just every single year that PFF grade, goes from like a light green to a solid green to a dark blue. Every single season, getting better. I like I like the idea for the Cowboys specifically because that's what we're trying to think. Who are we wanting to draft? We did that fan poll last time, and Lyman was up there. He's he could be a left tackle for us. Maybe they kick him on the inside. We'll see what they really want to end up doing there, right? But
Yeah.
I think this guy from an early age really had and show flashes of some talent, man. Solid foundation.
Still
Guys,
very young, right?
Yeah, very young. And look, you see that 320 there? Okay, that's not actually big, right? That's not actually big for like compared to some other guys, but he kind of plays like a vet, like kind of plays big, like he's got the good fundamentals and only 6 pressures allowed, only 1 sack allowed. And that 89 pass for blocking grade is good.
I mean, what you're getting out of Banks and the Voch Lombardi breakdown of him is great. We love watching his content and seeing him and Broadus and Kavanaugh break down some of these prospects is best time of the year when team's out of it, that's for sure. But to summarize some of what we saw there, the feet look great. He's a guy who's going to have his feet in constant movement, moving laterally with the D lineman. He doesn't get caught off balance much because of those feet. So he's able to stay in front of the guy. Does he have the power to hold up from a big-time bull rush in the NFL? I'm not sure that he does, but I think that that's going to be something he can grow into. He's only 20 years old. So he's a really interesting prospect. I don't think he's actually the kind of guy that's going to come in and be a Pro Bowler on the first year. Those are obviously hard to find, but we're talking about the top of the first round here. I think you're going to end up getting an eventual Pro Bowler. But if you do like what Alex mentioned and you start him at guard, I think he might be a Pro Bowler in the first season. So that's the kind of player that I see. Not that he's not good enough to play tackle. I just think if you've got 2 good tackles, I may put him at guard. So if I'm the Cowboys, I want to make sure to retain and understand. Maybe going into this Washington game, make sure Guyton and all these guys get a bunch of reps and make sure you understand what you have. Because if you get your best 5 on the field and Banks is a guard, I think you're going to be in really good shape.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on some of those points. Like obviously we saw the feet, really great feet, and hands, gets low on his blocks. But like you mentioned, can he kind of keep those blocks, and keep them engaged, right? We've seen him sometimes not be able to do that. He gets tripped up at times, just not being able to turn as quickly as he probably liked to. But I mean, he's a big guy. I think some pro comparisons might be like if you remember Justin Pugh on the Giants, we saw him a lot, kind of the same body type and sort of build right now. So we'll see. I would love this guy on the roster.
Yeah, we definitely need. I mean, if you're drafting for need, another big quality offensive lineman is right up there with what the Cowboys need, especially with the shaky season Guyton had. But you look at what they've done with Tyler Smith; he's played all over the line. If the Cowboys are willing to move him to guard, and then move Tyler Smith to tackle, which I think that would be your best combination, and then put Guyton at right tackle. That's kind of the picture I have in my head. Brock Hoffman and then Cooper Beebe in the middle. I think that's a pretty solid unit.
Yeah, you see
I noticed you didn't have any room for Steele on that line there, Dave.
I'm gonna let Steele and Guyton battle it out. But yeah, I think Guyton was not jumping out off the screen, so it's a little bit of projecting him to hopefully get better in year 2. But Terrence Steele is what he is, and he's not getting better, so his time might be at an end. Starting at least.
Since we're in our college segment, decided to switch jerseys, go with the Notre Dame.
Hey, there
Joe
we
Montana.
go. I like it.
Yeah, Notre Dame hopefully about to win out here.
What's
Looks like
score?
they are. It's 23-10, 2 minutes left.
Yeah, so y'all see him here, number 78. Whether he needs to, block for a screen, protect the blind side of the quarterback. I mean, he's kind of invaluable here for these guys. Ewers, like you can see him out there sometimes getting more time than I expect him to get. Especially since we know Ewers could be kind of up and down. So it's like he's giving Ewers just enough time to figure some things out.
Yep.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our next guy here. And I'll try to get that film going a little bit earlier. But I wanted to do it as a bonus guy, but we're just going to have to jump right into the other guy in the same game, Cam the man Skattebo. I'm glad he didn't beat us.
I'm a scat man.
Give me the little bob, big bob.
I'm glad he
There you go.
didn't
Thank
beat
you,
us,
David.
man. That would have been brutal if he beat us. We would be very sad, honestly. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know if we would even be breaking him down at this point. But look, again, another guy who, really did continue to, just have good seasons. Like from the jump, 2021, great season. 2022, great season. Like a little bit of a down year after that. But then this season, the guy's going off. All right. These are.
I was at the Texas State game. You see that Texas State only allowed 62 yards rushing. I will say that.
Okay.
But he did get 2 goal line TDs against. That dude is really hard. That dude is really hard to stop on goal line. So, yeah.
I love it.
If you want a goal line back, draft this guy. Yeah, I got to see him in person.
Well, let me come in with a slightly different take of this guy because I think he played great. I think this is a college back. I don't think he can do this in the NFL, mainly because I don't believe he's 5'11". This guy looks as tall as Maurice Jones-Drew almost. Like he's and is that a problem? Yeah, it's a big problem. But guys can make it work. So I'm not going to say he can't make it work. Someone should take a chance on this guy in the middle of the draft. Absolutely. But he's not 5'11".
We got
maybe
the combine
5'11" with lifts and big cleats. Yeah, we'll see what the combine says.
We'll have to do come back together after the combine, see how we're feeling after that. But what I have to say, what I'm now forced to say, is that Ashton Jeanty is shorter than this guy.
You think so?
No, I don't think he's shorter than this guy. I mean, unless they lied by
3
inches. Jeanty's 5'8". Jeanty's like 5'8", dude.
Well,
they're both like 215. I think Jeanty might be 220. Like they have the right BMI. Like they're heavy.
They start measuring from the top of the dreads, right? So the dreads take a couple more inches. Yeah.
I think there's going to be some people that would want to fight you on the height narrative.
Okay, I'll
was good.
I'll take it because I got that from Brian Broaddus, but when he said that, I was like, the proportions on him are not 5'11" proportions. So it is what it is. Like it doesn't make him, Jeanty.
If he was 5'9", I'm still in. To be honest.
I can't wait for the combine. The combine's going to clear that picture up for me because he certainly looked the part playing at Arizona State in the Big 12 and then having a great game against Texas. But we'll see how the other guys measure up. It's not always about your production in college when it comes to the running back. You really have to draft traits that you like. And we'll see what comes out of it. The combine.
I think we drafted the shortest running back in the field last year, right? And Deuce has seen the field maybe twice this year. I want to give Deuce the deuce and maybe bring in this guy if you can in the late rounds. Well, I don't think he's a first rounder or second rounder, that's for sure.
Give me another Bo Scarborough type guy. That's if you're going to throw a body at it in later rounds, go get the guy who's like 6'2", 250, 4'4". May not have any production, but there's a guy like that out there.
Yeah, we know that this guy's got tremendous strength, balance, the forward lean, the huge tree trunk legs, right? So better, center of gravity. The guy can toss the football too, as we saw yesterday against UT. But I think some of the biggest knocks on him as well. Yeah, I don't think this guy his ball security. This guy's got a few fumbles this year, and his pass blocking is not very good.
Jinty just had 2 fumbles.
Yeah,
in the playoff game or whatever.
Sean's gonna fight you, dude. Sean's gonna come out.
Y'all are calling out his height in the fumbles, and Genty just had 2 fumbles this week in the same
I'm
one
not
game.
saying I want to draft Genty. I like. I'll tell you who I want to draft, and it's one of these other guys we're talking about over
Okay.
any of the running backs. We
Okay.
need some help. We need
All right,
a lot of help.
let's move off of young Cam Skattebo, man.
Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, the guy third in PFF, fresh grade, 1,700 yards. Not bad. But let's
Not
go ahead
bad.
and move on to not your guy, my guy, Tre
All
Harris. I want to see if any of y'all actually looked up into this guy.
And this guy's 6'3" listed here, but he's listed as 6'2". We need to get this combine here because I wanted him to be 6'3". But I'll let you introduce the man.
Yeah, for sure. And hey, for what it's worth, in my notes, if y'all go look at the Discord, I wrote 6'2". This just I didn't get my numbers from here. I just happened to do this because it's a nice little graphic.
I'm not calling you out. I'm saying it. That's just how it is before the combine.
Yeah, you're right. 209 is what I have as well, not the 210 listed here. 22 years old. The guy's, I think he's smooth when he's catching. I got him on the Campus Ken Dynasty team. This guy, I've been watching pretty much all his games. And, Jackson Dart, I feel like he's getting bailed out by this guy. Dart's going back to school. But Tre Harris, he can stretch the field. He's got solid size. You'll remember A.J. Brown went to Ole Miss. He's not as A.J. Brown's got like 10 more pounds on him at least, but he kind of has that build and it like still has the speed with the size. But I doubt he's over 4'4" or anything like that. But he's definitely got hands. Only 8 games played in this last season. So I do prefer when a guy's always are ascending upward. And you see that here at the bottom. The past few seasons. So this year, 89.9 PFF grade, 86 the year before, 77 before that, 77 before then. And, really it was just like, think of it this way. Even though he only played 8 games this season, the guy was the 15th wide receiver in yards in all of college football. And then he had the 3rd highest PFF wide receiver grade this season. So on limited snaps on a per game basis, this guy's nasty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll agree with most of that. Like if you go back and look at his highlights, so many crazy catches, just like some one-handers, insane athleticism, great route running. But I will say route running has been limited, as we mentioned, only 8 games, and the Ole Miss system really doesn't allow for a ton of different trees, right? So you're only going to have, maybe 15, 20 max routes that this guy ran in college, and there's going to be a lot more that he's going to have to do in the pros. Good top end speed, not great, but I think he's a kind of like a Michael Thomas in his prime type of guy, that kind of guy, because I think Michael Thomas is 6'3" as well. But this would be a really, really great addition to the Cowboys.
All right, so here's what I think of this guy, and
okay,
he doesn't quite have the same exact measurables. You mentioned he's a little bit smaller than some of the guys that are coming out at 6'3", but this guy's tape reminded me exactly of Throw Up the X, Des Bryant, 88.
Hey,
that's what I see what Des Bryant kind of became in Tre Harris's highlight tape. Now, I didn't see all of his drops. I didn't see all the times maybe, how hard his effort was on plays he didn't get the ball. But that's because I watched the highlight tape. If you turn his highlight tape on, he looks like Des Bryant to me. Runs that like a freight train when he's got the ball. We'll talk about some other receivers. When this guy gets the ball, he smoothly turns into a DeMarco Murray guy out. Like he's crushing people. People do not want to tackle this guy. I don't know that he's got quite the explosive athleticism.
That looks like Dez right there.
Yeah.
But if you think Dez and you watch this guy play, especially the way the defenders react to him, he's hard to bring down. Big tough guy. This guy could be a number 1, especially in the right scheme. And man, if you have CeeDee Lamb opposite this guy, you are in good shape. I was impressed to watch. I didn't see any Ole Miss games. The blue unis they had were sick. But yeah, that's who he reminded me of. Shit, I'm getting salivated right now just thinking about
Yeah,
having
I'm
this guy
glad
on
you
our
like
team.
him. Let's go.
He looked real. I mean, he's a little smaller, so I have to take that into account. Des Bryant
That
came
looks
out.
like AJ Brown
at,
right there.
Des Bryant came out at 225, 6'3", and he
Yeah.
was all of it. And he kind of had to become a little bit better receiver than he started out as. I feel like this guy is a little farther along, but a little smaller. And
I want an old school receiver. I
yeah,
like it.
I mean, look, it
Ugh,
looks like Des out there to me.
broke them
So,
ankles. Woo!
exciting.
Yeah, this has been my favorite guy. I want the Cowboys to draft him. And it's tough because I think he's going to be a first rounder. I hear of him as a second
Jesus,
rounder.
that play was
So
awesome.
if he's a second rounder, then I want him there too. AJ Brown went the second round. DK Metcalf went at pick 50. Anything's possible. But
Dude, if we get wiped out at 13 or wherever we pick, maybe trade back to 20 or something and get
There
a
you
fourth
go.
back that you lost from a stupid trade,
Yeah.
and draft this guy
man.
at pick 20,
Perfect range.
and then have that fourth back to explore getting a running back or something. I'm perfectly okay if that's the plan, but it's so hard to plan for something like that. So I don't want to see it play out. I'll have a heart attack. But there's a lot of good receivers in this draft. This one would be a good get. I don't know about top 15 or 20 though, but hell, I mean, why not? Why not?
Where do we have him going, or where do the pundits, the experts have him going?
Yeah, man.
Right now,
I haven't heard anyone else's takes on him really, but I haven't been digging for him. Let me see.
And I've got what we used last week's episode, so I'll go ahead and switch over and pull that up. But are you talking to mock draft or just overall value at the positions?
I think just overall value.
I'm looking at a projection that has him mid first, so
okay,
that's the first. I just Googled, so that's the first one I saw. I don't know where anybody else has him, but it doesn't surprise me. I would say, yeah, pick 15 or 20. A lot of guys are going to go off the board. There's not a really big first round grade pool so far.
Caught it.
Des did catch it.
So,
but yeah,
Trey. So we'll go. Let me just do Trey. What, wrong one? Just see where's Trey. We got him at 44. Got a few Ole Miss guys here. And then
they got Bear in there
for mock drafts. They got him going to 51. The Broncos at 51. So our second pick would be ahead of that. So he's available for us. And that's what I was saying. Like, he's going in this range. They've got him listed at 6'2", 205 here. So he's losing weight every place we look.
I mean, if he's only 205, I don't know if I can take him in the first round.
I'm okay with over 200. Like, Zay Flowers was the first round, and he was 180. I mean, a different player. I can't get it.
But it's interesting. I'm excited. Again, I want to see how the combine plays out. Des Bryant, I kind of was comparing him to Des. Des was he ran a 4.52 at the combine. He was 6'3", 225, which is nasty. And the Cowboys obviously traded up to get him at pick 22 or whatever it was. So if you can, if you can stay put, this could shape up to be a draft where we get two massive skill players in the first and second round if we play it right. And that would harken back to the CeeDee Lamb, Trayvon Diggs draft, where they just stayed put and got two players that were all pros.
Yeah. All right, man. So, Joe, you feel like you're good with this? I don't remember if you got all your takes off on him, but I'd be excited to get this guy.
Yep. Yeah. Since Dave mentioned Dez, now I can't unsee it. So let's go get him.
Let's get him.
Hell yeah.
So I'm going to actually skip our guy for the end. The next guy, I'm going to actually go to Emeka Egbuka here. All right.
Okay.
Because he's similar size, but he's probably going to be inch or two, inch and a half shorter, but maybe a little bit lighter. Probably definitely 5 pounds lighter, though. I think this guy reminds me more of a Chris Olave body size, and I mean, rocking the same number doesn't hurt, but also kind of the same play style. I mean, but Olave's fast. This guy's pretty quick. I think just as fast, and also he's got them hands. I mean, I thought that was the main thing that stood out with Olave is that he was just super sure-handed. I knew he was going to catch the ball. And I felt like the problem for Emeka Egbuka was mainly that there's just so many other dominant players on the Ohio State team. You've got the best freshman I've ever seen of all time, in Jeremiah Smith. Like, watch that guy. The Rose Bowl was also yesterday, I believe. So they were playing yesterday, and he's got another game to come. So y'all can keep checking out Emeka Egbuka ahead of this draft. But really savvy. Got the route running ability. I think. I think it's a number 2. Dave. Joe's pointing out on the last episode that we don't necessarily need a number 1 guy at receiver.
No, yeah, I get that.
So this is a great number 2, I think, with the ability to step in like a Devonta Smith when the main guy gets injured.
Yeah, I think I had a little trouble with this with him because I obviously had just watched some of these other receivers we're talking about, and so when I see him play, he's very smooth. He's always like open, like separation is always there. Now some of it was scheme. You see a lot of passes to the side, like this one here.
Yeah.
And you look at his highlight tape. Now again, I want to preface I didn't see all the bad plays, so I don't know what his downsides are. But at the highlight reels, the player I thought he might kind of be like is a Steve Smith from the Giants coming out of USC. I feel like very good route runner, not a top end blazer, not a Tyreek Hill type at all. But a guy who can go crisscross over the middle and get separation quickly and have sure hands. That it's kind of a boring way to, especially the way I gushed about Tre Harris, but like that's great. That's a great thing to get. Now, do I want to take him at 13?
Right.
I thought I might have before I really watched a little bit more because I had actually watched some earlier this year, but I don't know that he stands out enough for me to take him at 13.
It's a high pick. It's a high pick. And if we're expecting to lose next week, I don't know what the odds are here. I had it up, but I'm not exactly sure what movement could happen in the final week. We're tied with Indianapolis at 7-7. Okay. So in theory, if they were to win a game, they're at 12 right now. So we would move ahead of Indianapolis if they were.
Yeah, I was going to say the best we can do is 12. The worst we can do is 17.
Oof. That's
a big swing. So if Colts somehow win, and I think they have a real matchup, but if Colts, they play the Jags. I think Colts. I mean, they're not playing Anthony Richardson, but I don't know. This is a horrible game.
Yeah, who knows what's going to happen, man. So what did you think, Joe? I ran out of steam there because I liked what I saw, but it doesn't pop off the page as a blue chip guy.
Yeah, what I saw was a natural route runner, which is why he's always open. And then, I think just being such a fluid athlete, it really makes it look pretty easy. I think his ball trajectory skills, like going GPS, tracking that ball, pretty amazing. What I saw on tape. And then the couple caveats here, I think, with him. We saw him play in the slot a lot more than he did out wide. Mm-hmm. So the majority of his snaps were from the slot. So who knows how that's going to play. And then he's 6'1". I feel like, or what it looks like and what I've read is that he plays a little smaller than what his frame is. So he doesn't necessarily extend for the balls. So maybe his range isn't quite what maybe it should be. I think he might be sort of like a Smith and Jigbo that we saw this year, and Amaz St. Brown if he gets a little better with just being able to go extend.
That makes me think we haven't done any factoring of like how much they got that dog in them.
Oh yeah. Well, I think I would give Trey the dog for that.
Yeah.
For Emeka, I think.
Well, I would give that to Scatman too, man. That dude. You see that competitiveness? Yeah,
that's true. Well, I would say also with Emeka, like if you put him on a team with a modern, like a McVay or a Shanahan offense or a Mike McDaniel offense, I think you're going to get really good results out of this guy. But if you put him in the Cowboys offense, I don't think it's worth a top 15 pick. So that's where maybe also like you have the right plan for the player, you're going to do great. He's got a great foundation. And hey, we talked about some of the other guys. What's the one step forward this guy's going to have? Maybe he does turn into a prime Michael Thomas or something like that. Or I think that was your. Anyway, I like what I see. It's a great foundation. We'll see. I'm gonna take him at the bottom of the first.
Yeah, that might be another candidate for that trade back type situation.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah,
like it.
absolutely.
I like it. All right. All right. So let's go to someone that, what sparked this actual segment was who might we want to trade up for? Okay. That's something that we don't typically do. To get Parsons, we actually trade it back. Like
Mhm.
we're trying to look savvy all the time, and that's fine, especially when it is savvy. So I'm cool with that. But Tetairoa McMillan, this guy, 6'5", 210 pounds. And you can see he's someone that was also getting better basically every season. This past season, only 4 more catches, about 100 more yards, 2 fewer touchdowns. But he's someone who actually has that rare size speed combo that you kind of always want. Like the past couple drafts, like the Smith and Jigba draft, like you got a lot of smaller receivers, like none of them over 6'2" type of stuff. So this draft, we're getting a lot of big bodies, and he's one of them that can actually move. So he's fast, quick. I think he's got some hands. I saw some shake move ability. Definitely saw like I don't know if I want to call it route running, but more like he can find the soft area of the defense in the field, and it seems like he has a connection with the quarterback to be able to pull that off. Also, so that might help, and maybe he can be like a quarterback's go-to guy. But it's not all deep shots, but sometimes he's burned some guys and he's just wide open. So he's who everyone's kind of talking about right now. It's hard to you can't teach what measurables he's got, so that's just part of the package. He's got it NFL size, prototypical NFL player.
Yeah.
He's not a Megatron. He's not. You got to be crazy fast to be a Megatron, but this guy is a big target.
I wouldn't say 6'5" is prototypical, but that's pretty damn tall.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go ahead and just give my quick assessment if you're done, Alex.
Yeah, and I just lace it with, should we trade up for this guy as far as like the back end thought on it?
Yeah, the last time I really remember trading up, it wasn't a good result. Mo Claiborne from LSU, cornerback. Remember that?
Yeah.
That didn't turn out so well. He ended up being one of the biggest busts probably in franchise history after having to trade up for him. But I will say that it might be worth it. It might be worth it depending on what if he's available or near available at our slot, right? So this route running probably needs a little tightening up, and his top end speed could be a little bit better. He's a very fluid athlete. Obviously, goes by T-Mac. 6'5" is just super tall. His arm length is incredible. I think somebody who we saw really go off this year on my fantasy team, so I paid a lot of attention, T. Higgins. He looks like T. Higgins out there in my estimation. T. Higgins is almost like 6'5", and he can move just like him. He's got the little juke,
Oh yeah,
I like that. I like T. Higgins for that.
That's a great one. Yeah, I would love that. Let's also sign T. Higgins and draft this guy.
Those 3 number ones.
Yeah. First of all, what I liked about this guy, and when we went to size and what his body type was comparable to, I said Keenan Allen, or that's what I was thinking. And then, but it doesn't account for the suction cup like hands this guy has. Like, that's OBJ. So I feel like it's Keenan Allen with OBJ hands. And is he going to have that kind of success? I think it's dependent on the scheme again. But I mean, you have to take this guy. You have to consider taking him in the top 5 if wide receiver is a big need for your team. Obviously, a top 10 guy. I don't think he's getting past the 10th pick, to be honest. So let's say we're at 12, and do we want to move to 10 to get him? Absolutely. I'd move to 10 to get him if it's 2 picks. So basically, I like what he had. The hands part is the craziest part because Broadus talks about this a lot. If you watch Voch Lombardi and Broadus break this guy down, a lot of what they show is he never ever body catches. The total opposite of Terrence Williams. This guy is a snatcher of the ball, so that reminded me a lot of how OBJ attacks the ball, doesn't let it get to his chest. He's always got it way out here, and I think with his huge frame, obviously he had a big connection with this quarterback. They were teammates. From what we heard in the highlight reel, he was teammates from 14 years old. They've been on the same team. And this guy started out as a quarterback in high school, which
Yeah.
that's ridiculous. But
Maybe
this
that's
guy's
why he knows those areas of the field to be in.
the prospectness of him.
Oof.
His next step forward is going to be him turning into not Calvin Johnson, right? He's not going to put up a 4.3, but man, if he breaks 4.5 at this size with the hands, it's a huge prospect. It's the top 1% percentile of what you're looking for. Maybe that's what you meant by prototypical, because I think this is the pinnacle prototypical.
Yeah, I didn't mean typical. I mean like if you could make a guy in a lab, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Keenan Allen, DeAndre Hopkins, Cordell Patterson they all put on a little bit of weight, but they're not known for being big, bulky guys. So I think those were all decent body type comparisons. I just did a Google I actually saw 6'4" on him, which again, we're going to see this stuff get measured out in the combine. We're going to see it all in the combine. But so 6'4" is kind of where I started, and I saw Keenan Allen and said yes, DeAndre Hopkins yes, maybe Cordell Patterson.
T. Higgins is 6'4", by the way.
Okay, there you go. So
he's got that slender build, but
we'll see how fast he is. It doesn't seem like he hits top speed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not going to judge the guy before the combine, because he could go out there and run 4.3, and then all of a sudden he's a top 5 pick, hands down. So,
boom.
We'll see.
Yeah,
love to see it. We're excited about this guy. It's one of those things where do we trade up? Like, it sucks that we gave up a 4th. We don't have a lot of assets, but Joe and I did the mock draft last week. We got 3 5th round picks. We know we can mess around with those. So we should jump into a mock draft. All right. And
let's do it.
In the show with one of those. And we're at 214 viewers right now, guys. So please subscribe. Thank you guys for watching and checking us out. And we're excited for this draft season up ahead. We'll be back making more of this content, but we're gonna do a mock draft right now. Guys, so far though, which of these players do you want to draft? Like, that's how we did last week. Who are we targeting? We wanted Genty. We couldn't get him in the last draft because he was gone. But what are you thinking? Who you really want?
Okay, I'll go first. I think my favorite scenario is getting Banks and then getting Tre Harris somehow. Whether that means trade your 3rd to move up to the top of the 2nd to get Tre Harris. That's my favorite version of it. Otherwise, if you stay put, I'm still considering Tre Harris at 13 or 12 or whatever, but I might go. I think Banks is probably the guy we really need to solidify that line.
I'm going to go ditto with you there, Dave. Exact same scenario. I don't know if we can pull it off, but say let me just throw something out. Say we had the option. Say Banks was there and Harris was there. We're going to go Banks all the way, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you just can't find a lineman in the 2nd round. And
especially one that
Harris
you can start day one. You're trying to start this guy. You kind of need, it's almost like you're drafting for need, but if he's not there, we can go a different direction. But if Banks is there, you have to turn the card in and take the help on the O-line.
All right, so let's go ahead. Mock draft time. And, again, appreciate you guys.
What pick we got?
What's up?
What pick we got this week? We move up?
We're up. We're up a spot.
We're up by one.
You guys can see, this is last week's draft. We went James Pierce in the 1st round at pick 15. So we're up 2 spots from last week. We got a Notre Dame guy. Hopefully Xavier Watson's doing well in the game tonight. We did get Tre Harris. That was part of that sneak peek. And they gave me an F on that Nick Singleton pick, but he balled out in the college playoff game. So that's on y'all.
We're only at Harris in the 3rd round, though. So, that would be so cool.
Yeah, that's not real. I told you that wasn't real at the time, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and get this thing started. We're pick 13, Cowboys on the clock. We are skipping all the trade offers. Patriots are trying to do something sneaky. Can't trust them. So We had we're on the clock.
Oh wow,
Ontario went 1 to the Patriots. Oh my
that's
god.
hilarious.
They don't need a quarterback, so it kind of makes
wild.
sense. But wow. And then Cam
Shout
Moore,
out to the
Drew
Giants
Sanders.
for winning last week and losing out on that number one pick.
And Travis Hunter goes to 5. Okay.
Oh, that's different. Okay.
Yeah, and then
How
we've
can
got
you leave Travis Hunter on the board as the Giants?
Giants. Yeah, Giants go to Giants.
Brutal.
Because Giants, bro.
All right, and then Will Campbell, Will Johnson, Luther Burden, who we looked at on the last video last week, Abdul Carter, and then Nick Skorton and Josh Simmons. So we had said Kelvin Banks, but who else is here that we might be interested in?
I think we at least John is our tiebreaker. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we got. How are we feeling? I think normally you want to tackle here.
I can't believe that this would actually happen. So I kind of want to still grab Banks and see how it plays out. But I mean, shit. How do you can't
guys,
at 13?
And last week, Dave actually was the one who had the idea of comparing, like, do we take Genty over some of these guys? We didn't want to take Genty over James Pierce Jr. or what am I saying? We wanted Genty over James Pierce Jr. We wanted him over Luther Burden, and he went ahead of those guys in the last draft. But here, Genty's somehow fallen. Joe, how you feeling?
I feel like we have to get Genty.
Now,
sorry, Dave. We wanted Banks, but jeez, man.
We're gonna filter by running back. Okay, I'm big on Hampton. We talked about Skattebo, but again, we can get one of these running backs in the next round. These two running backs are in the championship game. Dylan Sampson's great.
I mean, a lot of
like
those guys
Alvin Kamara type.
I'm just thinking that we just released a running back. We only have one coming back in our fullback.
Yeah, so I guess it comes down. I mean, are we going to re-sign Dowdle? Or what? This could change.
Yeah, exactly.
Quite a bit, right?
This could.
I'll say this: if we re-sign Dowdle, I'm going Banks. If we didn't re-sign Dowdle and we signed some scrub, some free agent guy, then I'm going to go Genty. So that's my caveat. How do we decide that? Flip a coin? Or y'all want?
Well, Jerry likes to sign his guys near the start of the season, so we won't know until after the draft. Right.
I think we got our answer. We're going Genty because we need an instant impact. We have a team that's gone 12-5, multiple seasons in a row, and then this year we're super banged up. We don't have any explosion. Like, look, all of us would say that our running back Rico Dowdle was good, right? But at the same time, how many touchdowns did he even have? Like, we didn't score a ton of points this season.
Genty is a rich man's Rico Dowdle. Okay.
Might be the top 5.
All right.
So let's do it.
We're locking it in. Ashton Genty, welcome to the Cowboys. Hey,
you're a Dallas Cowboy.
Every Cowboys team is forced to, every Cowboys podcast is forced to draft Genty at one point. Maybe next week we'll get somebody else. It was tough to pass on Kelvin Banks. Sorry. That's the
maybe Sean will tune in again next week too.
Let's see what happened Let's see what happened.
Okay, let's look at
what happened.
The rest of the draft.
Where's Tre Harris?
So real quick, Walker, Milam, Colson Loveland, tight end there, Mikael Williams. We got some other tackles. Kelvin Banks goes to the Broncos at 20.
Cam Williams.
Then another Texas tackle, Williams. So we got a lot of good Williams and Connors that come out of Texas. Michigan guy there. This is another receiver we may want to check out.
That's a great spot for
Emeka. Check him out. Yeah, Emeka there. So that's that range you are saying. Trade into those 20s, that early 20s. That's how you snipe these guys. All right, so let's Amari and Hampton, another first-round running back. We have 3 first-round running backs. Actually, 4. My bad, including Genty. So a lot of talent that other people think is out there, which might mean that we could potentially get wiped out of some of the upper tier guys. But I've started the season saying that we're in a loaded draft class right now at running back. But I don't know what Eagles are doing there. Maybe these guys are getting ahead of the Henry and Barkley retirements or whatever.
Damn, James Pierce all the way to the second round.
Yeah, weird. Wow. Okay. Yeah, good call. Yeah,
And
we had
Jade
him at
Barron
15
would have been a
last
good
time.
one.
Yeah. Okay. So Texas guys all over the board. Now we're getting closer to our next pick. Giants, they must have botched this pick. No, I'm playing. I don't even know that guy yet.
Let's
All
just
right.
assume they did.
Yeah. Let's just.
That's a safe assumption. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
So okay, now we're back on the clock, and so we passed on our guy Kelvin Banks. Unfortunately, we took Genty instead, which not unfortunately, this guy is awesome.
Yep.
So we take a quick peek at the tackles, but I think you don't want to reach at this point.
Can we look at
No.
Edge?
Yeah, let's look at Edge. What's
Yeah,
up?
sorry. I was just going to talk about the Edge. There's a few Edge players that I've heard things about, but I haven't actually watched. I've heard this guy Mike
We
Green
can go
is
back to back
a
Ashton
monster. I've heard
From
Broadus and
Boston
Butch talk about
College
him.
or Mike Green.
No, Mike Green.
Okay, Mike Green.
I've heard a lot of talk about him being a really fast edge rush player. I wish I knew a little bit more about him, but Broadus and Vosh were high on him.
Well, just keep this in mind. We have a second and a third, and then it's going to be a break. No fourth rounder. So we got to make these next two picks count. Ashton's the BPA on this board.
We got to go Ashton. Back to back Ashton. Call them double A batteries.
Let's go. I have no.
Yeah, and last draft we went Watts with this pick, I believe. So let's switch it up.
Did.
And we took our edge in the first round last time, so we'll go ahead and get our edge here. Okay, Ashton to Ashton. Boom. Let's get it. That's not going to work out. And Joe, I think last time we were like, don't get the guys from the same last name or something. There's no same school. It was two.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
two Tennessee guys or something, right?
Yeah. All right, so after Ashton Gillio, we have another running back, Travion Henderson. So, and I like this guy. He's just a pass catching back to me. He is very fast, but he's had some up and down seasons. Nothing that we can bank on at all. So I feel way better about who we got. We got Texas tight end here. Your boy Mike Green went just a few picks after. Xavier Watts, Xavier Restrepo, wide receiver that I like that we should look at some point. Looks great with Cam Ward. Oh, and Dylan Gabriel, little quarterback here. Okay. Oh, Cliff Paul Jr., maybe related to the other one. Nah. All right, so Jalen Milroe, he did declare today. And hey, another second round Alabama quarterback going to the Eagles, named Jalen. So, all right,
that's not gonna happen.
Nerds.
Yeah, Dylan Sampson. He's more of a lightning running back, so he's more like Gibbs than. Oof. So it's kind of interesting they would go that route. But this is a guy that we should draft 1,000%. This is a guy we should draft if we don't get Genty. Anyway.
Isaiah Bond there going to the Chiefs. Another Texas wide receiver to the Chiefs.
Come on,
they already got Worthy.
Not real. And then Chiefs take. All right, this is fake. They get another receiver here. So at some point, the draft is just kind of crazy.
Yeah. Maybe we can edit settings on one of them next time because there is some pretty significant differences.
Tre Harris.
One pick.
We got sniped.
Are you kidding me?
Who sniped us? The Colts.
Yeah, in last draft he went to us at 79. Here he gets taken at 76. So he's moving up people's boards.
We didn't talk about trading up for this round, so maybe we do it for this round. We trade.
Yeah,
we got three fifth-round picks, right? We got three fifth-rounders.
3 fifth-round picks. So if
trade two of those.
If we want to go, I don't think that's how NFL trades go, though, right? Like, wouldn't you trade like
you probably trade next year's pick?
Yeah, like one of those fifths. Like, let's do this fifth, and it's compensatory. So one of those fifths plus next year's fifth, right? Or seventh?
Next year's.
Oh, we would probably give up a fourth.
Yeah, you probably have to give up next year.
So go fourth.
And what are we trying to do?
I don't even know. I mean, we're targeting.
We already missed on Tre Harris. We already missed on him.
Yeah, we can't trade up anymore right now. We're already.
Well, we can't trade up, but we didn't think about it going into this round.
So yeah,
okay. Let's see who's left.
Well, the thing is, we'll go back to the trade here in a second because we should have a player in mind. Okay. So if I can just figure out how to get this off. Anyway, draft player. So, Skattebo, BPA.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if we think of two players we want, that's when we do a trade up. because we're gonna have a long wait until our next pick. We've got 77, and it's almost half another round, like the exact another 70 picks later.
Take a nap.
I mean, how high up is any lineman, offensive or defensive here?
Yeah,
That's
good call.
Good point, Dave.
Offensive or defensive?
Yeah, just go to all and scroll down and see which one we see first.
All.
Yeah, we're there. So
We got
Okay.
a tackle.
Ozzy, and then
I
the
would love
guard,
a guy named Ozzy blocking for us. That would be cool.
Donovan Jackson.
Oh, Makuba
Jackson. Ooh,
Blake
Makuba was
Miller.
really good.
At Clemson.
Ooh, shout out to
got that.
Makuba with that game-sealing
Yeah,
interception
game-killing
yesterday.
interception.
And so last
Woo.
draft we took a tackle in the 5th round. We got Emory Jones, and then we went Jake Majors from Texas, the center. We got a B+ for Emory Jones there, and that was the 5th round. But we could take a guy here, but essentially I'm saying we double tap at that position.
I would say, man,
We've got a running back. We've got our edge.
I like
the receiver we want. Go ahead.
I don't know anything about. I mean, I know Makuba. I didn't know any other guys really on the list that I couldn't really talk too much about. So a receiver would be great, but I don't know what these guys are gonna end up.
Yeah,
looking
I'll
like.
wait just to game the system. I like a Kyron Lacey. I like Evan Stewart a little bit, but I'm not gonna reach here.
Yeah,
I'm not trading either.
I haven't done enough extensive homework on these guys.
At this point, we would be.
Let's go Ozzy. Let's go highest.
Yeah, all right, we'll go
offensive
Ozzy.
lineman available.
But what I'm saying is, if we don't get our receiver in the first 2 rounds, then that's a season where we need to go in the offseason and get a T. Higgins or something. But we'll go Ozzy here with this pick. And if there's someone else we want, we can trade up. All right.
I don't think there's anything trade worthy.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I like Makuba, but I don't know that he's any better than the next ranked.
We're making
corner.
a pick, and we're not going to recap all of these. I'll just scroll through.
All right. You got one more round or 2 more rounds?
Yeah, no, we got this 5th round of 3 picks. We'll knock these out. Don't worry.
We got 3 picks.
Oh, I have Terrence Ferguson on a C2C.
Dude, Cam is still available. Look at that.
They know he's
Cam
short.
with Genty. They know he's
Dude,
short.
look at that ranking though. 48 and the next guy is 117.
I mean, at what point do you take him?
No respect. I get no respect.
No, do we have? When is our other pick?
Oh, now we're in the great spot. So look at the picks.
Okay.
We're at 149, then we're at 168, and then we're at 170, then 171.
I say just take Cam Skattebo too.
Why not?
And that's what we did last draft. We took 2.
Just go best avail.
We're taking them.
Yeah, take him.
he can replace Lepke and
we're losing. We have no running backs. We have no running back signed on the roster at all.
Imagine having Genty and Skattebo in the same room as rookies, and then you just have Rico Dowdle in there too. It's like, okay, that's a solid group.
So this is the guy who got the illegal hit yesterday, or that was not a legal hit, but people on the internet were losing their minds saying it was a illegal hit with Michael Taft. Yeah, that targeting. So we're gonna take Taft just out of respect.
Yeah.
Go. Hey,
a couple boys from that Peach Bowl back to back.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And last draft we got
Jake.
We got a safety a little bit earlier in the 2nd round, so we got our safety covered because again we're trying to cover those positions that we polled the crew, but we're going BPA for the most part. So no more running backs, guys.
Do we look?
I think we're fine at tight end. Yeah, we can look at receiver. I would say let's go with the LSU guy if he's there. Nope, he's gone. We got wiped out pretty much.
Dude, is the Utah State guy still there, or is he gone? Oh yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
Hey, Texas State on there.
Maybe Horn was good, but I think
scroll down for me. Scroll down for me.
Oh, sorry. 1 second. All right.
Set. Yeah, a little bit more.
Oh, okay. At least this guy. All right. So that's it. I'm at the end.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This Texas State guy.
Oh yeah. This guy's name. His nickname is Joe Dirt. This guy makes some amazing catches. Just super scrappy guy. The guy you would really want in your wide receiver room. If I had to compare him to someone, maybe he's a bigger Danny Amendola. I went to Texas State, so I'm a little partial. gonna watch the game here tomorrow, bowl game against North Texas. So check him out tomorrow on national TV. But yeah, I think this would be a great addition to the wide receiver room. If he fell to us in the next round,
we're waiting.
then yeah, we're waiting. But
Okay.
That'll be our final pick.
What's good at linebacker?
We'll get him
or
on the team,
corner? Another
We
defender.
got Jay Higgins, Iowa linebacker. A Georgia guy. We can Helmet Scout. We took him in the last draft, though.
Kendricks. Is
Yeah,
probably
right
gonna be
here.
gone.
If you see on my screen, we took him in the last draft. Samael Mandan. So we
Schmeal.
can go to him again, or go with Jay Higgins. He's a little bit earlier.
so
just
you're
switch
saying
it
go
up.
big or go smell?
Yeah, let's go with Higgins. Just change it up a
Sorry.
little bit.
Switch
That
it
was a
up.
bad one. Go big or go smell.
And there was a
Just
guard
know
there. Miles Frazier. I think we might want to consider some more line help, but
Yeah, I think we
really,
should too. I think we
BPA
should.
for the most part.
Yeah, I would say
BPA.
a guard would be great. Anyone?
Yeah, let's lock
We're,
that
we're
in.
missing receiver still, but that's okay.
Yeah,
We're gonna
but
get
Who's
Joe Dirt.
left?
none of the receivers in the 5th round are saving the Cowboys. It's too late.
That's true. That's
We
true.
needed to take them in the 2nd round or the 1st. We got sniped in the 3rd. Like, maybe if it was last week, we still would have got Tre Harris.
Yeah.
All right, Luke Lachey is a stud tight end. I think this is a must
If it was
draft.
last week, we would
That's
have
a must
gotten
draft.
Cam in the
This
last
is a must
pick.
draft player. We have to draft.
Put
this
it
guy
in. We
here.
need a tight end.
This
Yeah,
guy is a
sure.
beast. Iowa tight ends are great. Hawkinson fan, Kittle, all those guys.
Ooh, we got
All
a
right,
couple quarterbacks.
Well, we
Jackson
promised Joe
Dart?
we'd take his guy. We're gonna take his guy here,
All right.
Joe Dirt. Welcome to the squad.
Joe Dirt.
Welcome
Let's
to the
go.
squad, baby.
Texas State.
Well done.
Nice.
We're gonna get
All
an
right.
A for Joe Dirt. I guarantee you.
All right, drum roll.
Hey, we got an
Let's go.
back-to-back Ashtons.
Let's go.
Wow.
Hey, we got a D for Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt.
Brought her grade down from an A+.
That's a good
Oh.
draft though. I think we
We're
don't.
having fun with this one, guys.
Yeah.
We're having fun with this one, but it was cool. It was
This
cool.
is never gonna happen, but that'd be funny if it did, wouldn't it?
What was our overall grade here? I missed it.
So we
An
got
A.
an A.
A. We got an A.
Way
Hey.
better than last time. Top 20%
Yeah.
of drafts. We know the mock drafts don't mean anything, guys. Come on now. But
That was
it's
fun.
okay. So Genty and Gio, I can't say Ashton anymore. We got Ozzy, Cam Skattebo, Michael Taft, Jay Higgins, Miles Frazier, Luke Lachey, Joe Dirt. Yeah. I feel
Joe
okay about this.
Dirt.
I like the Texas pick. The Texas picks have been working out great for the most part in the NFL. I think one of the Connor Williams or one of those guys busted for us. I can't remember which one.
That was Connor.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I'm good with this. This is the 1st round overall, guys. For those watching, I'm gonna do a quick save. Give me a real quick sec. There we go. So Tech goes first, like you saw. I'm not gonna break it all down, but
Tag going first overall, of course he does. It's wild.
But Shadur going to the Browns? Come on.
yeah.
They got their guy, Watson.
Hey, by the way, if you want to see some more Tre Harris, they're currently playing a bowl game against Duke right now.
Oh,
Good
don't
call, dude.
put me
I'm
with a
about
good
to
time,
put that
man.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
telling you to do some scouting for the next future Dallas Cowboy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. So well, that was dope. That will do it for us. You guys please like and subscribe. Thank you guys for checking us out and give us some suggestions. We squeezed in as many
What do
as
you guys
we
want
could
to
today.
cover?
Yeah.
How deep y'all
for
want
you
us to
guys,
go?
for you, yeah, I know, right? Like we were thinking top 25 because the Cowboys could go any which direction in that range. I don't think we trade beyond 25 and just give up our 1st round pick or anything like that. So, that's probably the range that we're looking at. But any suggestions, let us know. I'm still thinking, look at another receiver, look at another running back. The class is deep. We got to talk about Amari and Hampton specifically. UNC, got to
Let's
see,
if we can
Mac
figure out
Brown did,
corners.
develop that guy. I think some corners. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see if we can look at some corner. I mean, defenders in general. I think. Yeah. Look at some.
Look in this range, like plus or minus a few positions from the Cowboys. Like, let's say we get to 12 and, maybe like and Abdul Carter slip. I doubt that, but like maybe a Will Johnson, that corner might slip. I don't know.
And maybe
Something like that.
next draft we'll trade back and try a strategy. They're
There we
trying to
go.
draft in the 20 range.
Yeah.
So I think
love
next
that.
week we'll have the season recap for you guys, but we'll also have a solidified draft spot. So we can definitely, zone in a little more here and, see what happens with these bowl games as well. Guys, stocks will go up and down, so it'll be exciting.
Yes, sir. It definitely is a new era.
What if we trade all the way back to like 25 and then sit and wait if we can go back up to like 20 or 21 and grab one of these guys falling? I don't know. Anything can happen.
I've seen it.
Save it for next week, Dave.
We need a bunch of players.
All right. Well, appreciate you guys. Cowboys fan David on X, Joe Garcia 73 on X, and you can find me Dynasty F Key, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Write it, Joel. Write it.